So Samsung has been doing foldables for years now. They've refined them, slimmed them down, made them tougher, and honestly, they've kind of owned the category. But things are about to get really interesting because Samsung isn't just preparing the next Z Fold or Z Flip. They're working on something that feels more like a statement. A device that basically says, yeah, Apple, we see what you're building, and we're ready. Because while everyone's watching Apple quietly cook up their first iPhone Fold, Samsung is apparently planning to go head-to-head with it. Not with the normal Fold lineup, but with an entirely different class of foldable. And thanks to some new mock-ups and recent leaks, we may have the clearest idea yet of what Samsung's wide-fold phone could actually look like. Now, last month we started hearing that Samsung's 2026 roadmap includes not one, but two completely separate fold models. There's the regular Galaxy Z Fold 8, the evolution of what we already know. But then there's this other device with a totally different identity, internally known as SMF971, and originally people assumed this was just going to be some cheaper light fold. But nope. Turns out this thing is actually a premium, redesigned foldable with a wider passport-style body. And that instantly changes everything. Thanks to mock-ups shared by Universe, we can finally visualize the direction Samsung is heading in. Forget the tall, remote control-looking fold we're used to. This thing looks shorter, wider, and way more natural to use when it's closed. And here's where it gets fun. The design language looks suspiciously close to what we've seen from iPhone Fold leaks. Both have a punch-hole camera on the outer display, both seem to be targeting almost identical proportions, and the only real difference visually comes down to edges. Samsung is going for a more squared, serious Pro look. Apple, as always, seems to want softer, rounded corners. And that similarity isn't an accident. The dimensions tell the full story. The Samsung Wide Fold is expected to ship with around a 5.4-inch outer display that opens up into roughly a 7.6-inch inner display. And if that sounds familiar, it's because Apple is rumored to be doing almost the exact same thing. Both companies are clearly betting on this wider 4:3 style layout, not just because it looks better, but because it's massively better for productivity. But let's talk about the feature that's going to get Samsung fans properly excited. Remember when the Galaxy Z Fold 7 dropped S Pen support? Yeah, that hurt. But Samsung did it for a reason. To make that phone insanely slim, we're talking around 4.2 millimeters unfolded and super lightweight, something had to go. And that something was the digitizer needed for stylus input. This wide fold, though, this feels like redemption. Rumors now suggest Samsung is planning to bring S Pen support back with this new form factor. That means productivity, note-taking, sketching, actual tablet-like usefulness, all on a foldable that doesn't feel like a stretched remote. Of course, there is a trade-off. Adding the digitizer does mean this phone probably won't be as thin as the super slim Fold lineup. Samsung is apparently working on some futuristic tech to detect S Pen input without needing a traditional digitizer layer, but that breakthrough seems more likely to debut on the regular Z Fold series instead. So what we might end up with are two foldable philosophies existing side by side, one that's ultra-thin, futuristic, and crazy light, and another that's wider, more practical, more powerful, and geared toward people who want their foldable to actually replace a tablet or productivity device. And honestly, that sounds like the most exciting Samsung foldable lineup yet. We're still months away from getting the full picture, but if this early information is anything to go by, Samsung isn't reacting to Apple. They're preparing to meet them head-on. So, what do you think? Do you prefer the slimmer fold design we have now? Or are you more excited about this wider notebook-style Samsung foldable with S Pen support making a comeback? I'm really curious to see where you stand on this, so drop your thoughts below. Anyway, that's all for now. Big thanks for hanging out, and if you enjoyed this, make sure you stick around because things are only getting crazier in the foldable world. I'll see you in the next one.